now for the epic conclusion of the trifecta episodes that was my Crystal walkthrough to take back the radio tower. Hey guys, I'm DeoGenZ, and today we are going to take back the radio tower once and for all. Jiggles! Jigglypuff scared, very uncertain, because Team Rocket is still hanging out here, even though we defeated their asses. They're like, yeah, so what? We can recover. But, aha! We can go up this staircase now, but not before fighting this guy. What? Why did the door open? Did you have something to do with it? No. It just opened on its own. It's kind of like one of those doors at the supermarket that has a sensor when someone walks by. It auto-opens. You numbskull. Of course I opened it. Oh well. Back to training my Eevee. Because back in the basement, it didn't get too much experience or happiness. Doesn't like basements, I suppose, but it also doesn't like sitting around in low health, which I kept it in for an unreasonable amount of time. Yes, good. Keep missing. Ah, you and your quick attack. So cheap. So cheap. How is it that that fat rat can do quick attacks? Oof. I never liked Raticate. I thought Rattata was okay. I thought that was a pretty cool Pokemon. Kind of cute, but Raticate was always just a big fat ugly rat to me. I never really liked it. Coughing, on the other hand, very cool. Again, love James's coughing. James apostrophe coughing. And Jesse's Ekans, which evolved into Chabak and Whiz. I think I could do a wheezing voice, but not in the state that my headphones are on. It would require me to kind of extend my neck muscles out, and currently I've got a headset attached that if I do that, I will choke myself, so let's not do that. But as we move up the staircase, we have to fight executives. Executives are kind of like overpowered grunts. We've faced Golbats before, but now it's a bit of a higher level. And really, just keep on fighting, keep on battling with your prized Pokemon team, and you should really have no problems getting to the top of this tower. Now, ideally, Eevee can get enough happiness by the end of this, so that once we level it up out in the overworld, never mind, great, it's losing happiness. Forget that notion. I was gonna say, then it would be ready to evolve, but don't worry guys. Just because your Pokemon was defeated that you're trying to raise its happiness doesn't mean it's the end all. I'm not certain how much happiness it takes away from the Pokemon. Yes, you're paralyzed! Love you, Raichu! But think about Raichu. Pichu was defeated quite often, and more often than I really would have liked, but it still managed to come out okay. And you guys saw me raise it. I did no cheats on raising its happiness. That was the method I did for it back then. Just give it a lot of potions. You know, I do believe that somebody in the comments section long ago recommended that to me, so whoever that was, thank you. Because that was really a useful tidbit that I can't believe I never tried. I don't know, I was always under the impression that you needed to give your Pokemon a good item before they were to raise up in happiness, but really it's any item because that lets them know you care. And it doesn't really matter that it's cheap potions. They don't really care about the monetary price of it, they just care that you're giving them something. It'd be nice to see in the future, while we face these grunts/executives, because this is certainly a grunt, not an executive, but there will be another one at the top. But it would be great to see, and I'm sure we'll see something similar, or something like it in the future for the 3DS, a Pokemon Pal kind of companion game, where it could be a downloadable title, and I would really like them to have full Pokemon character models, but your Pokemon would roam in a virtual world, but it would interact with the 3DS interface in the way of Spot Pass, Street Pass, and of course the pedometer to raise its level. And of course it would be even more awesome if they integrated Pokemon cards into it, where the way that you collected new creatures would be to scan them in from the card. And looking at a Pokemon card, it's already got a great deal of information on there, more than just the attacks, more than just the Pokedex entry. It also tends to have the level, at least in some of the older cards that I had. I don't know what the new ones are doing exactly, but I believe they still have it. They still have a level on there, so it would give a good base. Oh, good. Speaking of level, one more level and Prince Dozo evolves. But it would give a good base for trainers to scan in their Pokemon via an augmented reality stamp and interact with them in their 3DS all the time. That's one of the things I love about the 3DS, is it's kind of a console experience. It's a pseudo console experience on a smaller screen, but still the gameplay that you can have there is on the level of a console. You know, definitely there are some differences to be had in comparing the Wii and the 3DS. There's certainly things you can only do on the Wii that 3DS just cannot pull off. Motion, for example, is one of them. Yes, it has a gyroscope in it, but the 3D effect is kind of tarnished when moving it around. So, motion is definitely much better apt for Wii. But still, I would love to have a personal Pokemon pal by my side at all times. Oh yeah, we've got Slowbro, the Hermit Crab Pokemon. Very interesting because it doesn't look like a hermit crab, but it's got the spiral shell. And what's interesting, if you watch the anime, you find out that that's actually a shelter attached to it. I remember there was a whole episode dedicated to this one professor who studied purely Slowpoke and the relationship between Shelder and what happens when they evolve. Because obviously Shelder changes its form. It's not just Slowbro, or it's not just Slowpoke, but where did a Shelder come from? It just emerged out of nothing. At least they explained it that way in the anime. In the case of the games, it's just a matter of evolution, and it gets the live-looking shell with the eye on it from out of nowhere. Typhlosion! Typhlosion is going to be a beast now. And I'm so satisfied because you realize within the 3 past episodes, I believe each episode, we've evolved one of my members. At the start of this whole tower takeover, Reclaiming, we evolved Skipplume to Jumpluff. Then when we fought our rival down in the underground of Goldenrod, in the secret Team Rocket bunker basement where the director was held, we have now Typhlosion because of that. And finally Slowbro. So that's 3 Pokemon in one Team Rocket outing. I think you guys can see how beneficial versing every single one of these opponents can be. That's why I suggested, even though early on you could skip a lot of the Rocket members and cut out some of the boring battles, I don't advise it. You know, get the experience points while you can, because once you save the radio tower, it's not like the Team Rocket members are going to be hanging around like, hey, never battled me. You want to battle me before I leave? They don't give you that courtesy. So get the experience points while you can, because especially in a game like Crystal where there's no versus seeker, there's no rematches really, it's absolutely vital. You know, you can rematch the Elite Four and you can verse your rival on certain days, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of rematches you can do. Not any that come to mind anyway. And Vileplume, that's a new one. I don't believe we've seen one of these yet. Pretty awesome sprite, as usual. Again, incredibly biased. I love the Crystal sprites. I wish my whole life looked like a Crystal sprite, at least for a while. Like I could put on Crystal Vision, and it wouldn't be crystal clear. Everything would turn into a pixelated sprite, and of the color palette that Crystal was. It would just be interesting if it wouldn't be even pixely and 32-bit, but was this 32-bit or 16-bit? I think it was 16-bit, but Gameboy Color, not sure. But if it was just the color palettes, fought hard, but I still lost. It's because you're weak, and your team is not going to come back together. As much as you want Giovanni to return, it won't happen. I won't allow it. Man, I can't believe how many potions we used already. Eevee's gonna have to sit this one out, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about that. Thankfully, yes, DeoGenZ, isn't it? A brat like you won't appreciate the magnificence of Team Rocket. That's too bad. I really admire your power. Ugh. Were we just being hit on by that Team Rocket female executive? No thank you. Any chick who is looking to control Pokemon with frequencies instead of train them honestly is not a gal I want to associate with. Announce your comeback. What comeback? Have you been asleep at the switch? Apparently so, because I've been mopping the floor with all your grunts in this tower. They're as weak as ever. You're not gonna make a comeback. I'll squash any plans you have. You got that, Team Rocket? You're done. You won't allow me to interfere with your plans? It's too late. You're over. Ah, look at you. With your big purple suit, you think you're the shit. You think you're Eddie Murphy and Raw. But you're not. The only thing funny about you is your look. Oh! Anyway, let's weaken this Houndour. Since it's fire versus fire. Whoa, damn it. Let's see how effective that is. Not very. Yeah, because it's a base stage Pokemon versus stage 2 Pokemon. Not going to do too much, but still, be aware that Houndour is not only a fire type, but also a dark type. In a couple of Leers, you're out. That's how Beast Typhlosion is. Coughing? Sure. Let's diversify and try out our new Slowbro. Let's see the power of this psychic wall. Confusion! Oh, don't be smokescreening me. You can't avoid the confusion, coughing. It's inevitable. Even with my Prince Dozo being paralyzed. It only takes one shot. Really? You're an executive and you have a coughing? What the hell? And a Houndour? You should have a Houndoom. Oh, you do have a Houndoom. I never understood that with these NPCs. These rivals that you had to face. And gym leaders did it too. Hell, Jasmine in fact had 2 useless Magnemites, not 1 Magneton. She could have had a Magneton. She could have had a Scizor. She could have had a... Well, she did have a Steelix, but she could have had 2 Steelix instead of 2 useless Magnemites. Damn. Houndoom is, of course, also Dark/Fire type, and it's much stronger than its weaker counterpart, Houndour. So let's use Team Rocket Pokemon versus Team Rocket Pokemon. First, we'll start out paralyzing it, and then we'll dig underground to exploit its fire weakness. Ah! It wasn't effective. Come on, how can you not be affected by that? What are you, dodging my glares? Maybe he's glaring back harder. Damn it, we're burned. Alright, screw glare. We are just gonna have to ground this pooch now. Haha, you missed. Dig! Okay, let's see. Oh, it is not a one-hit KO. Whew. That's a shame. Yeah, that's what happens when you tend to ignore other members in your team. Just trying to evolve. Charbok, yeah, Charbok and Mr. Poof. Mr. Poof's obviously not going to last long, but I just want to seed this enemy. That's the useful thing about Mr. Poof. Although he doesn't have a great offensive power, He's a great supporter. So, Slowbro's our wall, Typhlosion is our sweeper, and Mr. Poof is one of our supporters. And of course, Charbok could be considered more of an offensive type, and Eevee will probably be a supporter slash attacker. It depends what movesets I give it, but right now it's going in the direction of attack. And man, wouldn't it be amazing if we actually stall this thing out and watch it whittle away in health. Don't burn my cottony poofs! Oof. That was super effective. Yep, it's only a matter of time though. And Chew can finish him off. I mean, Chew! Gotta stress all the O's. I didn't name it Chew for nothing. And just like that, one dizzy punch to the face, you're done. No! Forgive me, Giovanni! I suck. I only have inferior Pokemon. Why didn't I raise a Weezing? How could this be? Our dreams come to naught. I wasn't up to the task after all, like Giovanni did before me. I will disband Team Rocket here today. Farewell. Just like that, Team Rocket is a group of quitters. DeoGenZ, thank you! Your courageous actions have saved Pokemon nationwide. It's true. I know it's not much, but please, take this. A clear bell. Well, Radio Director, it's more than you even know. There used to be a tower right here in Goldenrod City, but it was old and creaky, so we replaced it with our radio tower. We dug up that bell during construction. I heard that all sorts of Pokemon lived in Goldenrod in the past. Perhaps that bell has some connection to the Tin Tower in Eckertique City. Ah! That reminds me. I overheard Team Rocket whispering. Apparently, something is going on at the Tin Tower. I have no idea what is happening, but you might look into it. Okay, I better go to my office. Huh, so something's going on at the Tin Tower. And yes, I totally forgot that item. Let me go grab that. But instantly, without even passing us, Ben came back. Yes, I do listen to your music on occasion. That's funny how he just instantly appears back in his chair. What, was he hiding under the table the whole time, where we couldn't see him? Yes, but I wanted to get that item there. And also, talk to Mary here. Oh, you're my little savior. Take this, a pink bow. I thought she gave us soft sand, but maybe oh, you know what? Who gives us soft sand? Those three sisters on. I don't know if they're sisters, but the three girls on the island where it is right outside the Poké Nursery. If you surf down and surf over to the right, you go onto that little divot of an island. I do believe we already went there, but as I mentioned in the past episode, we never got a radio card. It just never came up. Especially since I don't usually listen to the radio in a walkthrough, but here's how you answer the questions. So, in the future, we're going to have to check out that Tin Tower. Something to do with the bells. And I didn't know Goldenrod was run with Pokemon. So many. They really overdeveloped this place and drove them all out to the outskirts for sure. Maybe they all fled to National Park. Maybe that's kind of their safety, their area of restraint. No, you cannot buy a berry. Does it? Yep, okay, good. Yes, he is. If they said, is he the gym leader of Violet City, who uses water types, that would have been incorrect. But bird types, flying types, yes. Oh, what? What did I get wrong? That's what happens when you keep clicking on it. It's fine because you can do this quiz as many times as you want. It's only 5 questions, so if you really do get it wrong all the time, repetition will help you remember. And once I get it right, you can just watch this reference and do it yourself. I wonder if the clear bell will attract Suicune. I wish that the director had more of a history about the tower that used to be here before they knocked it down. That would have been really some fascinating insight to hear about. Alright, so now not only can we call people on Pokegear, look at a map on Pokegear, but now we can listen to the radio. And I will see you next time.